What's going on, guys? MuneyKei here, and today we're going over the Oberon rework, because he is literally right now the GOAT of Warframe. Anyways, the Oberon rework changed up how Oberon works, and the way he works is a lot different from when he usually did. So his passive is now Oberon grants righteous negation to himself and allies in affinity range. When he collects health orbs, protected players against the next instance of damage stacks up to 3 times. So basically this is like Revenant's Mesmer skin, which is very good. And it keeps refreshing up to 3 every health orb you get. Smite got completely reworked. You focus a deadly energy within the target, dealing massive damage and removing all of its defenses, including Overguard. Enemies near the target also takes a portion of the damage. And as you can see, you do initial damage and additional damage, and then radial damage. So this is quite nice. Hollowed Ground is nice now too. It is basically the grass. And what happens is his second ability will no longer be a cone. It will be a giant radius around him. And it will do radiation damage to all enemies in the radius. And also gives your character protection against status effects for himself and his allies. His third ability, Renewal, the way it used to work is for every player you were basically putting Renewal on, would basically cause them to drain more of your energy. Now it's just drain and a flat drain per second no matter what. You get an initial heal and you get health per second and armor. And allies bonus armor is nice too. So anyways, what it says is generates a protective aura that grants bonus armor to Oberon and his allies and restores allies' health over time. Healing is doubled while within the radius of Hollowed Ground. So that's pretty nice. And the bleed out slowdown is really nice. And Phoenix Renewal basically gives me 70% of my health back if I were to die. Reckoning's really good too. Lifts enemies in the air and then hurls them down with Conviction, removing their armor. Enemies hit by this ability will grant Oberon additional armor and have a chance to die, to spawn a health orb when they die, sorry. So, this is in a pretty nice radius. The damage is very nice. Bonus radiation status effect. Well, bonus radiation status. The armor reduction is 85% the way my build is. The armor and targets, radiation status. You can read all that if you would like. I also have a augment for him that I'm going to go over in a bit. Anyways, with my build on my Oberon, he's basically almost never going to die. You go to upgrade here, and I will show you his build. I put Physique in here just so he has a bit more health, just as a flat line. Honestly, you can put whatever you want in there. I put Prime Square Footage so he will not be knocked down. I have a nice healthy mix of strength, range, efficiency, and duration. And I do need to get these two for sure max ranked. And I know I still have to max rank my Equilibrium. I'm not going to do that just yet. But because I could get away with just this right now. Anyways, Arcane Bellicose I have gained 5% ability strength for every 250 max health up to 60%. Which, I know on paper, that doesn't look like it's going to be doing much right now. But with Arcane Intention, you gain 120 max health per active channeled ability. Which Renewal is an active channeled ability. Which means I'm going to keep this up all the time. And Arcane Bellicose will increase my strength very slightly. At least I believe that's what's happening here. Regardless, even if it's not, it's still working quite well. The companion I'm going to be using is Dethcube Prime. The main reason of that is he has a mod for normal Dethcube at least, called Energy Generator, where Dethcube drops Energy Orb after assisting in 10 kills. And with the Verglass build from the Nautilus video, he is basically going to always be killing them. These mods are pretty nice. You can pause the video wherever you would like to see exactly everything I have on them. Tenacious Bond, Sifty Construct, so basically they will drop 25... Well, enemies injured by the companions have a 25 chance to drop a health orb when killed. So, you're basically going to always be getting health orbs. And Sacrifice is very nice, because Sentinel Incapacitate... Oh my gosh, it's been a long day. Itself to revive, it's down to Oda to 100% health and shields in 4 seconds. Sentinel recovery timer increase 15%. But, with all this, he will come back. And even if you go down and your companion's dead... with Renewal's extension to your bleed out timer, you're going to basically be completely fine to revive your Sentinel or even just have them come back normally. This is the Verglass Prime build if you wanted to use it. But anyways, we're going to get right into a Steelpath mission just so you guys can see exactly how good Oberon kind of gotten. Alright. So, we got our Oberon here. I'm going to activate my Renewal. I'm going to need to immediately get some health orbs just so I can prevent any damage taken to me. There we go. Hallowed ground. Now, obviously, he could be really good with some more, some actual yellow Archon shards because they will give him more max energy on spawn, and he can do a lot more with casting speed then. Yeah, even then, inside a hollowed ground, we are going to be having 113 health regeneration per second. So, he does do really well. And because of my Dethcube doing a lot of damage and assisting in a lot of kills with contagious bond and everything, basically, you're going to be generating lots of energy too really quickly. And with my dual Ichor build, I am also going to be generating health, so... As you can see, we just already took out a Exodus unit. And also, something I probably should have mentioned. Oberon's first ability, Smite. If there's like a bunch of Exodus units right by each other, and you have to cast it, you will strip all overguard from nearby enemies. So, yeah, if you needed someone to play as because you wanted to do lots of damage really quickly, then Oberon is completely your guy right now. And some basic builds for your weapons, you're probably just gonna be perfectly fine. Even then, even if you're not going to be, you can just do some ability casting and you'll basically be fine. Like I said, this basic Oberon build is just showing you how good his abilities are. Like, he got in such a good rework. Like, massive W2DE for this build. Because, wow, he just does so much good. And even then, his little buff towards his passive, where he gets basically immunity. My companion has those 3 things of immunity. So even my companion's just going to be completely saying, nope, I'm not dying today.
Another life support capsule is now available.
So even if they wanted to hit me, they're really not doing it too good. Because, like, I'm just not going to fully die. My health will be taking some damage, sure, but even my shields, but the whole point of this is just have my Oberon not die. I will say, though, there's always the one guy that's an issue, and that would be Violence. Violence would be probably one of the more problematic acolytes to fight. Luckily, we got Torment here, though. And even if I die, like I said, my good old Dethcube here will basically take good care of me. Especially if he's alive to do it. If not, then, you know, my Oberon's Renewal will keep him alive long enough for him to not die. I will say, though, if Violence does disable your third ability, and you get downed, you are probably dead in that case. Anyways, we're gonna go this way just so we can
Additional life support has
just so we
arrived.
can get some life support and be in a more open room for this.
Life support has been replenished.
Who took my gun? That's not nice. Unironically, yeah, see? Phoenix Renewal, perfectly great. And Phoenix Renewal refreshes in 60 seconds. So even if you were to die, you just not die immediately.
Extraction is available if you need it.
No, don't get me wrong. You obviously don't want to take that much damage. You want to keep staying alive. And you could just build your build for Phoenix Renewal, such as having high duration and strength and range. I just went for efficiencies just so I could spam abilities if I really wanted to. But even then, with Equilibrium, I am spamming so many abilities that Oberon is basically never going to die. Anyways, guys, I know I was a little late to upload a video on the Oberon rework, but if you guys haven't seen it already, yeah, Oberon's rework is quite nice, and he will most likely just, at the very least, help you feel comfortable with Steel Path with even a mediocre basic build. Anyways, I will see you all in the next video, though.
Support levels. Extraction
Bye-bye.
is